last thing I thought of with the images in particular and just the posts. One way that it differs from Instagram is when people are scrolling on Instagram, they're not all of them are shopping, right? So you kind of create your posts a bit differently. However,
Hmm.
people on Amazon are there to shop. And so you want to keep that in mind when you are creating these posts. It's not necessarily informative. It's not, yeah, they want to buy something and you want to get them over to your listing. And I found that it's really, really useful, especially I shop, for clothes on Amazon, and being able to scroll through the posts and see all the models wear different things like that gets me. I click on those and I'm like, oh, what brand is this? I want to follow them.
Hey guys, welcome back to the ZonCom podcast. This is your host, as always, Andrew Erickson. I'm very excited to be talking today with Amber English. Thank you, Amber, for being here.
Yes, of course. So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. We are scheduling an in-depth with you, Amber, later. So we want to hear Amber's story, but we'll do a full 30, 40-minute in-depth on it. But why don't you give us a little intro about yourself right now, kind of like your Amazon journey and kind of what you're up to nowadays?
Absolutely. So I started selling on Amazon 5 years ago. I started a brand with my brother. We're a brother-sister duo, and it's been extremely fun. We had no idea back in the day when we started if it would work. We chose our product, just decided to test it and go for it. And it's turned into the most amazing journey I could ever ask for. It's been so fun. It continues to grow. We have one brand that's doing really well. And yeah, it's been fun.
Nice. That's a sister-brother combo. I think that is the first time I've ever heard about that.
Yeah, it's not common, and quite a few people comment on it. But it's been super fun. It's great to work with someone that I know and trust, and we work really well together. We make a great team, and so for us, it's the perfect match.
Nice. And now you're just to give a little bit of credibility of your Amazon journey. You're about to hit 2 million a year in sales, right? Or did you already pass that?
We did that last year. Yeah, we're going up from there. So that's super exciting, and big things in store for our brand that I'm super excited about. We continue
Nice,
to grow.
awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats. That's fantastic. So, one thing I love about Amber and her brand and her brother Benjamin is that they are product focused. So, they have a good, awesome product on Amazon. They're also very good at engaging their audiences. And Amber actually taught a masterclass on how to use TikTok to basically how to build up your TikTok profile. But we're not talking about TikTok today. And we're not talking about Instagram. We're not talking about Facebook. We were talking about this other weird, super niche, sort of a social media, I guess, platform called Amazon Posts. Posts, Posts, right? It is a fun, cool little program that Amazon came out with, kind of like low key, came as it's like having a slow, soft rollout. I think they started a year and a half ago.
I feel like it was a little less than a year, but yeah, last year sometime towards the
Less
end of
than a
last year.
year. I thought
I
I
think
thought I
it was
remember talking about it like last summer though.
maybe they
Yeah,
could have rolled it
year-ish.
out to different.
Yeah, we're looking at about a year-ish on this rollout of this program. So if you've never heard of it, check it out. It's a really cool, easy thing to use. We're going to explain kind of like we're going to give a little intro of what it is, and then kind of like some best practices, kind of some pro tips on how to use posts to best engage your potential audience and then promote your products on Amazon. So Amber, do you want to give a little bit of an intro of kind of like what an Amazon post is?
Yeah, the cool thing about Amazon posts, think of it as Instagram for Amazon. You post about your products, and these posts appear on mobile devices on the actual product listings. They can appear on your competitors' listings, giving you real estate on their listings, which is always really valuable. And the other thing that's interesting about this is anytime you're able to kind of engage with people with eyeballs, it helps you grow your brand. And Amazon seems to really be focused on brands and how to grow those within Amazon. And it's it's amazing that they are doing this within the Amazon platform. With my brand, we realized about 3 years ago the importance of just focusing on your audience because that is the heartbeat of your company and really being in touch with them. So we did that through social media and have seen lots of great success with being able to like launch products to our own audience and just grow our brand through that. But now that Amazon is doing this, we can use those tactics that we have off of Amazon and apply them to Amazon to just continue our sales because we know that Amazon's the big e-commerce giant. We always want to pay close attention to everything they're doing.
Yes, absolutely. And so everyone who has an Amazon account and I'm 95% sure you have to have brand registry. And of course, to get brand registry, you need trademarks and all that fun stuff. You look, if you don't have brand registry, go get it right now. When you have brand registry, you can just go to post. It's a hard word to say, post.amazon.com. If you just go to that link, and we'll have a link in the show notes too, then you can see your little dashboard, and you literally just click add post, and you upload a picture that's square, and you write a sentence, and then you click on your ASIN for your product, your whatever, it has to be your own product that's inside of your own account, and you post it, and it just magically shows up places. It's like, and it's free. It's free, completely free. You get free impressions, free clicks, free sales, free everything. For me, I consider this I consider it like, in my head, I'm thinking of like PPC, right? It's like an Amazon program to get impressions and clicks. But the best thing about it, it's not PPC because it's actually unpaid per click. So maybe it's UPC. There you go. So Amber, why don't you tell us a little bit like how you go about constructing a post?
Yeah, so we've tested quite a few different things. But what we've noticed is if you have, like, you want to use the posts to promote your products. And we think the most beneficial place to promote products is on competitor listings, right? So, whatever you can do to kind of stand out, and it's on mobile. And so, what we've done is we just go, we see what other people are doing, kind of see what catches our eye, and try to do something similar. But yeah, having a photo of your product with some bright colors is a really great way to start. And then adding a caption that would make someone click on it. And that's the basic goal. So you want to, it's just like, everything else you do on Amazon. You want to grab their attention and then you want to get them to click. And once they do that, that takes them to the post feed and they can click directly to your products and to your shop. And you can kind of engage and drag future customers through this funnel to you to close the sale, which is always the goal.
Nice. Yeah. And so these posts actually show up, like I said, Amazon kind of just like magically does it for you. The places they show up primarily that I've seen at least is that they mostly show up on mobile. So if you're on the mobile Amazon app, scroll down, you'll see it kind of above reviews. I think it's right above the Q&A section, right?
Correct. Usually. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of that like sort of middle part, I guess, that middle zone.
Yeah.
And it does show up on when I post stuff for my brands. It does, my posts generally show up on my products, right? As you look on there. I think I've only seen it on mobile though. I don't think it's on desktop, right?
Correct. That's how it was when they're constantly changing the platform. But last I knew, it was only for mobile. You can't see it on desktop. Also, on your brand store on Amazon, there's a tab with posts, and it shows up there as well.
That's right. Yeah, that's actually. I think they just rolled that out. I want to say like I think I started noticing it like
A
2
few
months
months ago.
ago.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess that's a way that you can access it on desktop, right? Is to go to the storefront page and you can see it as a tab.
Yeah.
So it shows. So yeah. So it shows up in your own listings, but like also like what Amber said, actually shows up on your competitors' listings, which is really pretty fantastic. And so that is obviously what we're trying to do is get more attention and more clicks, but there are a few advantages to using these different things, and kind of why we think it's important that you go and do it today or start getting a plan together. The big thing, again, it's free. So free, like that's my favorite cost of anything. It's free. It's honestly super, super easy. What we do is we just steal all of our content from Instagram. We have a social media manager that she like creates content for us on the gram, and we then just repurpose that right over onto Amazon posts. So it's like really, really easy just to kind of repurpose that content. And then, of course, we get the clicks and stuff like that, but we also get impressions and steal those clicks away from our competitors. And of course, the other reason why I think you should have a little bit of urgency to do this is to do this defensively. If I can target my competitors, the competitors can target me as well. So you want to make sure that you can start filling up that content so that you show up on your own listings instead of your competitors.
Correct. Yeah, it's really, really important because if you aren't doing it and someone else is in your niche, they are most likely going to show up on your listing. And you can prevent a lot of that by just posting your own, which is really cool. Another thing is you can use this to like cross promote products too. So if you have a line of products and they are related, you can have multiple products in the same image, tag those, and that's a really great way for you to cross promote your products on your own Amazon listing and on your competitors as well.
Nice. So how does the okay, so this is also kind of new to me and new to the world, but also super new to me. People can follow your brand, right? Like they kind of introduced that. I want to say I feel like 6 months ago. You can
Somewhere in
like
there, yeah.
follow a store. So that's one thing. That's one thing I keep reiterating on brand building. I think many of the long term listeners will know I have an engineering background. So I'm always kind of more like function over form, right? Like it's more important about the functionality rather than like more about like how well it works rather than like how it looks and the brand and the emotions around it. That's what I thought. That's what I used to think. I am complete opposite now. I'm 180 on brand building. I think that branding is the most important part, actually. The branding is the most important, and then product actually comes second. And this is a perfect example where Amazon's really pushing brands and not just pushing some stupid product. They're pushing the emotional component, the style and the emotion of a brand. And this is a perfect example of that. You can now actually click on a brand storefront and follow them. So Amber, I know that you've been pushing hard, gaining a lot of followers these last few months. Like how do you go about doing that, and why are you doing that?
Yeah, so we started this just because I believe any new program that Amazon launches, they and you use it initially, they favor you for doing that. Whatever for whatever reason, if you do something that's new on Amazon and you get in right away, they're going to favor your listings and promote you more. And so that's kind of how we operate as a business is we just try it. And if it works, we continue doing it. And if it doesn't work and it's taking a lot of times, then time we'll ditch it. But for us, this is a super simple way you can streamline the process and it doesn't take a lot of extra time. So it's a win win, especially when they added that follow to your store. And I've been testing this while I shop on Amazon myself, just because I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow brands when I buy products just to see what it does. And I'm curious, Andrew, if you've tested this, but I'm trying to figure out if it makes a difference within my own Amazon app and what products it will show me as soon as I open my app and what it recommends. And I have a feeling that it does.
Ooh, that's a good hypothesis. You think that the brands that you follow are more likely to rank higher on the mobile app, right?
I think that they are. It seems to be that way. And can't say that conclusively, but it seems to be. I've tested it with some. I'm like, all right, I'm going to follow this brand and not this brand. And I'm going to see which one Amazon shows. And obviously, there's no way of telling, but I have a hunch that Amazon, if they see, like if you click follow a brand, just like on Instagram, if you click follow someone, they're going to show that content in your feed. And Amazon wants to show you things that you want to see as soon as you open the app because they want to get sales from you. So I think that's a big part of it. But yes, back to your question
I
about,
bet.
yeah,
Yeah, I bet they are. I don't that's ooh, I wish we had to figure out a way to test that. That's a really good hypothesis we could test.
let's do it.
I guess let's see here. How do we do? I guess we could just have like some separate account and just go follow a bunch of random brands and then come back like a week later and see if those brands are popping up more often in search. We could do like a little keyword rank, manually measure the rank of all these different brand or listings on certain keywords and then follow them and then come back like a day or two later and see if they like are ranked higher. That's cool. I like that. That's a
Yeah.
cool
So
idea.
I've done this with my personal account because I have a business account and then a personal account on Amazon. And it seems to be, but I want to test it some more. We should do that. That'd be fun. But
Interesting.
yeah, like
Huh.
you were saying on followers for your brand, growing those is really important. And as we know, you can now Amazon is allowing you to message your brand followers, which is huge. This isn't something that they've catered to before. And I think it's going to be something that they continue to promote. And so a few months ago, when posts first came out, we started posting, and we were just doing a few a week. On Instagram, we only post 3 to 4 times a week. So we were doing the exact same thing on Amazon posts. And then we realized that some people we knew that had Amazon brands were growing faster than we were. And we were trying to figure out what they were doing. And they were just posting a lot more. And so we started posting 3 times a day, so 21 times a week. And that helped our follower count on Amazon grow. So we're now growing quite a bit faster. And just today, I was thinking about maybe boosting that just a bit over the next 2 months to test to see the difference between 3 times a day, and possibly posting, per ASIN, a certain amount per day per ASIN. One post a day per ASIN, or 2 posts a day per ASIN, which is quite a bit.
So so first, I love that. That's actually what got me really excited about this when I talking about this morning, because we're posting like 3 times a week kind of thing. We just like steal our Instagram content, post it there, right? And we've seen, actually I checked, we're about to cross 1,000 followers now, which is exciting. But now that, like, when you said that, I was like, oh my God, we're definitely not doing this right. We need to be not posting 3 times per week. We need to be posting 3 times per day. Hey guys, I want to interrupt the episode for just a few seconds for you. Today's episode is brought to us by our sponsor, Helium 10. Helium 10 is one of my favorite tools. I use it literally every single day. Actually, I don't tell people I use this tool. I tell people I live and breathe this tool. So with Helium 10, I'm going to do a quick little demo here. I've actually loaded up a real page. We're going to talk about how to find our launch keywords for a metal taco holder. Kind of a fun project. So here I am loading up X-Ray, which gives us like sales data on all these different products. And then go through here and find a few of the products that make sense. They're all kind of like relevant things. These are all like metal taco holders, right? I'm going to exclude the plastic ones. I'm going to exclude the weird dinosaur ones and stuff. I'm just going to grab a few metal ones. And I think I like to grab 10, but like 5 to 10 works as long as you have a good number of products here to kind of see the algorithm, right? We're all thinking about the algorithm. Now, when we hit that, we can load up Cerebro. So here's Cerebro loading. And boom, we have our keywords. We have our keywords that came with that are our top ranked keywords for these products. So you can see here what the main image looks like, and we can see here a list of all these keywords. We have thousands and thousands of keywords that are going to be things that we're ranking for. We want to have our best launch keywords though, and those launch keywords are, I like to use 1,000 to 5,000 search volume. And also, here's a big one. This is a killer one. We want ranking competitors. Who are our main competitors and where are they ranking? I put 5 to 10. I like to kind of see that the top, like in this case, we have 8. So you're going to have 6 or 7 ranking competitors. So here I'm filtering by search volume, and we want to find the top search products. And we also want to see how many of them our competitors are ranking for. Where our competitors are ranking is where we should be launching to. If these products look just like ours, then people who search these things are looking for products just like ours, right? So here we have 7 ranking competitors. We have thousands of searches per month. And these products are going to be, now use a human part and think which ones make the most sense for my product. And in this case, I chose these 3, and I think these are the best keywords that we should launch to. That is a quick little 1-minute tutorial about how we use Helium 10 to pick our launch keywords. So this tutorial, I hope you figured out, hope you got some value from this. If you want to use this tool yourself, use ZonCon10 for 10% off for the rest of your life. I have used Helium 10 for, 5 years, 6 years, so 10% for life. I'll probably use it for the next 5 or 10 years, right? So go ahead and go to helium10.com and use that discount code ZonCon10. That's ZONCON 10 for 10% off for the rest of your life. So I guess I'm curious, where did 3 times per day come from? Why not 20 times per day?
It was just more than what we were doing, and it was a starting point for us. And I also, when we first started this, I was thinking more along the lines of Instagram. You want all of your photos and your copy to be very different on Instagram. What we've noticed is on Amazon Post, since you don't control where it shows up, it really doesn't matter. And it's a lot easier to schedule quite a bit more content if you just change your copy slightly, change your photos slightly, and then kind of recirculate those posts the next week because it's not going to stay on there forever.
Nice. Let's jump into best practices for how to create content. So, if we are shooting for, so if it's intimidating doing 3 times a day, do not fret. You can do that. Yes, we're going to start doing that. I'm glad we actually, Amber and I and a few other people I know helped put together an SOP. We're going to have a link to the SOP, like an introduction to like Amazon Post and like kind of best practices. I'm really excited with this SOP. Like it's already like 3 or 4 pages long, and it's like all these like pro tips that no, I've never heard anybody talk about anywhere in the entire industry. So this is fresh off the press here. We'll have a pretty link for you. Let's go to zonconpodcast.com/posts, POSTS, zonconpodcast.com/posts, and we'll get you that SOP. And it's just a Google Doc, so it's like a live document that we can edit and stuff. So it'll be up to date for you. Now let's talk about best practices. So if we are doing 3 times a day, that's like a lot of content. So there are some cool techniques that we can use to kind of leverage that to kind of create that much content. So like we said, just reposting Instagram posts. I said that before, but Amber, you mentioned like ways to tweak your content. So how are you going about doing that?
Yeah. So if let's say you're just going to schedule, you're going to sit down or have your team or a VA schedule out Amazon posts for the next 7 days, you can, come up with 21 pieces of small copy. And that's going to be like your starting point, right? And then you want 21 photos to go along with that. Well, next week when you come back, you don't need to come up with another set of unique copy. You just take what you said last week and change it around just a little bit. So if you're talking about how awesome your product is for this activity, you talk about the activity first and then how awesome the product can be. And kind of it's really simple. It's just a matter of playing with the words and the photos, and it doesn't take a lot of ingenuity, which is fantastic. You do want to put effort into being unique with your copy, and as you get better at this, you'll notice that some posts are performing really well while others aren't, and just try to take note of what is performing well, what isn't, and try to do more of what tends to get you more clicks and more impressions.
I love that. And I the tip I heard this morning too, I was like, oh, that's so smart. It's just like having Canva, which is a software or whatever. I think it's an online software thingy, or Photoshop or
Yes.
Illustrator, whatever it is that you have, and just like have the same picture, the same whatever, and just change the color of the background. 'Cause that's like
Yes.
new content, right? I was like, oh, that's super smart.
Yes.
Also, you can just change the size, like kind of resize the product inside the frame and everything.
The angle of the photo or the zoom on the photo, right? So if you just want to like have a really close up of your product and then one that's set back, we haven't done that before. We've done the background, and we actually have quite a bit of. We have a large photo library. We just constantly add to it, but it's really easy. Those are some great tips. Yeah, to make your photos go much further.
Yep. And then another tip, if you're even lazier like I am, you can actually reschedule the same posts and just change the date. You can post date them, just say like you can like log, let's say you're gonna do one per day. You can submit 30 posts at the beginning of the month and they'll just post once per day, right? Or you can submit 90, I guess, in Amber's case, and have it post every 3 times a day for a month. But you can actually, because you can post date them, you can start on the 1st and schedule it for the 10th. On the 15th, you can take that same post and then just change the date to the 20th, right? If that makes sense. So like you're basically posting it 5 days out and you let it live for 5 days. And then on the 5th day, you then post it for another 5 days out. When you do that, I feel like this is kind of like a mistake on Amazon's part because you shouldn't be able to do that, but you can right now. So you reschedule, it will basically make it a new post and it gets re-engaged and everything. You just click one button, change the date, and you're good.
We've not tried that, and I'm going to try it. I'm excited about that little hack.
Yeah, it works. Those are tactical things in terms of like creative or copy, whatever. Like Amber said, just get some good, like sit down, make some good copy, and then just kind of tweak it. Also, the best images are really just a product in use. People love seeing people like faces, beautiful people with beautiful faces using the product and happy. That's kind of like the best case scenario. You can also just use your listing photos. Like you can just have a white background if you want. Just use a basic listing photo. In general, though, there are some don'ts. There are some do nots in with content. And a big one is that Amazon. So Amazon will, if you post something that's not TOS compliant, you don't get, your account doesn't get shut down. You don't get like a big penalty. There's no red flag or anything. You just get, actually there's a small red flag. It just says post rejected, and then that's it. Nothing happens to you. So you can kind of try to test the boundaries a little bit and see what Amazon stops you from doing. Um, but the big things they don't want, and they're actually pretty good at enforcing these. They're pretty good at like their algorithm's actually pretty good at like finding it. Sometimes a little too good. And sometimes they have false positives, but they don't like customer reviews. So if it's an Amazon customer review, you cannot take a screenshot and post that. You can't use a testimonial, even if it's a review from a different site, whether your own site or some other platform. You can't do any type of review or testimonials. I guess you can't post your competitor stuff, right?
We have not been successful in doing that. No.
Okay. They have a stupid limit on text on screen, like text inside of the image. They don't want too much of it, which I get it. Okay, so if you sometimes they want some stupid big paragraph of like content because there's text below that you can put a description in. But unfortunately, that algorithm doesn't censor against products that have text on them. So if you have sort of like, if your packaging has nutritional facts or ingredients or like a lot of branding, a lot of words on the actual box, that could get flagged, unfortunately. I don't know if you want to like modify it or twist it or change a different angle or something like that to kind of get around that. But in general, unfortunately, Amazon kind of will flag, even though that's not against terms of service. Their stupid algorithm just picks it up. Have you found anything, Amber, that's also kind of like a no-go for what to post?
We have different things with, like, if it sounds like it's a customer review or a phrase, that they'll get flagged, and we just change it a little bit and retry. And like you said, you can just tweak it a bit, find out what you're doing that they don't like, and get around it. If they don't like your image for some reason, we've had that sometimes. Just our niche, this happens to us a lot. And we have to find unique ways to say what we want to say and still, be within terms of service, nothing, so that nothing, gets us flagged.
There are some products that are a little sensitive because they talk about things that have some social stigma around them. And so anybody in those spaces is well aware of how to play that game. So, Amber, you're in a little bit of that space, right?
Yep, you just have to get creative, find out what you can do to say what you want to say, and not get your post taken down.
Yeah, we have a person I know whose product literally has curse words written on it. Like that's the product. Like it's funny. It's like it's a whatever. It's a shirt with a
It's
big
great.
F word on it, right? It's funny, right? But she has a really hard time getting it any advertising or any post or anything like set up with it because people generally the algorithm does not like seeing stuff like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, flags it, and then you have to appeal it. It just takes forever. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Now, the next thing, we're kind of coming to the end of our discussion here on posts, but the next thing I want to just mention is there are some pretty good analytics on Amazon. Again, post.amazon.com. Go there, you'll see just the little dashboard, and it kind of shows you the impressions over time and blah, blah, blah. One thing I was pretty excited about when I looked the last 30 days or so, we have 50,000 impressions and about 600 clicks, which is exciting to me because, again, this is something that takes us, we repurpose Instagram. It takes us something like an hour a month, and we have a VA do it. So we're talking, $5-10 worth of labor to get 600 clicks. And generally a click, if you're talking about PPC clicks, like we're talking, $1 to $2 per click, right? So we're talking about like $1,000 worth of clicks and impressions, right? Plus you have that opportunity for people to actually subscribe to your profile, right? To your storefront. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Now here's another little pro tip. The analytics on the dashboard is okay, but if you go and click, there's a little button that says export data, export analytics, you will get twice as much data. And there's like way more numbers in there. If you like numbers like me, then like you can dive through those numbers and kind of see like, you just get more stuff to look at, right? So pro tip, export data, you'll get a lot more analytics.
That's also something I learned from you today, Andrew. So thank you for that. We haven't done that yet, but I'm excited to give it a try. One last thing I thought of with the images in particular and just the posts. One way that it differs from Instagram is when people are scrolling on Instagram, they're not all of them are shopping, right? So you kind of create your posts a bit differently. However, people on Amazon are there to shop. And so you want to keep that in mind when you are creating these posts. It's not necessarily informative. It's not, they want to buy something and you want to get them over to your listing. And I found that it's really, really useful, especially I shop, for clothes on Amazon, and being able to scroll through the posts and see all the models wear different things like that gets me. I click on those and I'm like, oh, what brand is this? I want to follow them. So it's very effective.
Nice. I love it. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I'm looking through the SOP, which is fantastic. If you want to get a copy of this SOP, it's zonconpodcast.com/posts. And there'll be a link in the show note as well. So another thing I'm just looking through here, best practices. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I haven't personally done this, but this is, I don't know who wrote this. What someone in our mastermind wrote this. If you sell products in different browse nodes, you can combine 2 or 3 ASINs from each browse node into one post, and it'll give you more traffic. So it's a great opportunity if you have complementary products. You can also link bundles. So if you are doing bundles, you can put those in posts as well. So that's kind of a cool little hack there too. So cool, guys. Yeah. So try it out. Again, this is a fun homework assignment. I'm going to give you an assignment right now. Write a task, put in your task manager, or task it to your VA, or do it this weekend. Like, go try out Amazon posts. Just post something fun. If you don't have any content, you're not a big, awesome social media person, like just try it. Try it. Try taking one of your listing photos and upload, I don't know, one of your bullet points as your description. Post that up. You know what? Why don't you do this? Here's your homework assignment. You have to do 3 posts, 3 images. You can take your social media, or you can take your Amazon listing, whatever it is. And I want you to put a short sentence, I don't know, 10, 20 words, something simple. You can steal a bullet point if you want and post it. And I want you to see how they perform. Come back next week and see how those guys are performing.
Yes, that's a great, great assignment. I love it.
Awesome, Amber. Well, anything else you want to talk about, Amber, before we jump off?
I don't think so. Yeah, I would just encourage your audience to do that. It's an incredible way to get onto competitors' listings, which is the most valuable. It doesn't take a lot of time. You can streamline this process with just a little bit of effort and make more money.
Nice. Awesome, Amber. Thank you so much for being here. Super excited to have you. We're going to have you on later to talk about your in-depth story. It is actually a really, really interesting, exciting story with lots of turns and twists and stuff. So I'm excited about it. But again, guys, if you want to, your homework assignment from this huddle, the one actual thing for an Amazon seller to do today, I want you to go and make 3 posts, 3 images, 3 sentences. Post them on post.amazon.com and then see how they perform. And Amber, I want to thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed that content, and I'm going to have a small ask for you. If you have not left us a review, iTunes is where you go to leave your feedback for us. Just like a product review on Amazon, you have to get those reviews to get that rank, to get people to see your stuff. It's the same way on iTunes. These reviews really help us spread the message. So if you found any value at all, please go to iTunes right now. Open your phone, go to iTunes, pop it in, give us a review. I'm going to read one of my favorite ones here. Daniel PK said, excellent content that you can't find anywhere else. Andrew has incredible guests on that have a diverse range of expertise. Some of the content you may be able to find on some of our podcasts. However, a good chunk of the content, whether it's guests or topics or expertise, you can only find on this podcast. You won't find anywhere else. highly recommend for folks already involved in e-commerce. So Daniel PK, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting people know that this podcast brought value to you. And if this podcast brought value to you, the audience, the listener right now, you, yes, you, I'm talking to you, please go to iTunes and leave us a review.